motion for the approval of the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I need a motion for the approval of the minutes of the February 13th, 2025 and February 27th, 2025 board meetings.
Make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. And now on for the announcements and reports, the superintendent's report, Ms. Weaver.
This is a phenomenal amount of people in this room. I'm certainly have exceeded fire code here. So our special guest is out in the hallway, so probably we will maneuver ourselves and come around to the other side. So come on, Mr. Rubio, take a look at this way. Normally, we don't have this many people, but we have a lot of great celebrations.
That's great.
So, I would like to introduce our guest speaker. This is Mr. Bill Shepley. He is Alleghany County Manager. And I hope I'm correct here. Did some homework.
Okay.
So, Mr. Shepley earned a bachelor's degree and a master's in anthropology at East Carolina.
First one was in anthropology, the second one was a Master of Science in Nutrition.
Okay, and then you went further into education, earning another master's in healthcare administration from the other school.
Yeah, from
Yeah,
Tar Heel.
yeah. Mr. Shepley has 25 years plus of leadership experience in healthcare in North Carolina, plus other various jobs in Virginia and
Yes.
leadership. I just want to say that the first meeting that I had with Mr. Shepley, within the first 10 minutes of our conversation, he made this statement. He said, "I'm invested in working closely with the commissioners of Alleghany County, the Sparta Town Council, and the Board of Education. We will do great things together for Alleghany County. I would like to visit all schools." That was impressive. That was my first 10 minutes of meeting our new county manager. So that was a wow moment for me. And it is a powerful, positive step forward in bringing all three boards and meeting and discussing and working on how to build Alleghany to be a better place every day.
Fantastic.
So with that being said, I'm going to let you have the floor and share out any information that you would like to share out. So
Okay.
I didn't talk about our road trip that we took
That's
to
okay, we
Catawba.
had a great time, but I felt that same way about Missy, like we talked for just a few minutes, and I realized that, we can talk straight, we can build a much closer relationship. My wife is a high school art teacher, so education is, in my blood, and my wife said, "You better get out there and meet these school folks as soon as possible." She didn't have to make me do it. That's what I want to do. It's very important to me. The key word that I would say describes what I'm hoping to do in partnership with Missy and Jose and any other groups that want to work together is to build unity. Unity in the county is, we will all be better if we work together, if we celebrate each other's victories, if we help each other overcome the challenges that we all face, and we make a brighter future for the people of Alleghany County. And what better way to do that than to be supportive of the schools and all that's being produced here. I've been amazed in the time that I've been here, which is now just 3 months, that about 85% of the people that I've met are from Alleghany County. And the ones that have left have come back. This is a great place to live. My wife and I have been coming here for probably 14, 15 years, coming to Sparta. Sparta's going to town for us. I live 1 mile across the border on the New River. So it's really just as close to come here as it is to come to go to Independence or anywhere in Grayson County. But our hearts always been in Sparta and in Alleghany County. I was I had retired and just came over here to go to the farmer's market and asked how the county manager was doing here, and they said, "Oh, he's going to retire." And I went from being retired to coming back out because of the county and because of my love of this area. I wanted to still try to give something back, and I have been treated very, very warmly by the people of Alleghany County. Missy's one of the, when she said she was impressed that I wanted to go to the schools, I was impressed that she took the time to just take me around the high school, show me each room and talk about, what goes on and what challenges that rooms might have and what the hope is for the future. I don't know, Missy, if it's been, announced, but all the loan process is done now. So that was one of the things I wanted to share with you is that the loan from the county, all the details are done, and the state has approved it, so, we're moving ahead to greater days in the future. And there's a lot more that we can do together. We had a great field trip that several of us took that sort of blew our minds. It's called, what is the name of it again?
Paxton Patterson.
Yeah, and we went to several schools and we were just blown away by that, and I think that's something that, Missy's talked to us about trying to have that here, and I think that's something we need to support. So we're looking into figuring out from a budget standpoint how we can make that happen. We're open to making our schools like they already are, some of the best in the country, not just in the state, but in the country. You have a wonderful leader in Misty, and I've had an opportunity to talk with Sid and have enjoyed getting to know Sid. I'd like to get to know the other principals and look forward to touring each of your schools if you have the time to spend, with me and let me know what's going on. And I just want to see and hear and absorb as much information as I can. I'm not from here, so I don't have people that I'm aligned with or people that I'm against, and I think that's a good thing, and one of the things that I've been trying to do is to try to build unity amongst my board members. And they are really coming together strong. They might not ever be absolutely best friends, but they want to do what's best for the people of the county. So that has been the first very positive thing that I can feel has happened, that there's respect for each other, and that unity will enable us to do lots of things in the future. Thank you for allowing me to have this opportunity to speak, and it's great to see you folks, and thank you for giving your time to the county to make sure that the kids are prepared for the future. We want to keep our kids here. We don't want to lose our kids. We want to create more opportunities and more fun things to do here and more businesses, but we also don't want to lose the culture that we have here. Last thing we want to do is to all of a sudden become like some of the other towns in the mountains of North Carolina that have lost their identity. We want to keep that identity. And that's about it.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Sure thing, thank you.
Well, this will take, here's the large group, so we're going to remain waiting.
We were going to recognize the teachers at the last board meeting, but due to weather, a lot of you were stuck in your driveway due to down trees and treacherous gullies, so we decided that we would do the recognitions of our teachers tonight. This selected group of teachers is they are the top 25% in North Carolina legislated. When DPI sends us this list, it was an honor to see so many teachers listed for performance bonuses of EBOS growth. And when I call your name, if you would, please come up and stand. We have two different groups. We have the elementary, middle, and then the high school. So we'll do the elementaries. We have Miss Kendall Ham, Sparta School. Third grade reading, teacher of excellence. Congratulations. We have Tanya Richardson, Glade Creek, fourth grade, teacher of excellence for reading. We have Emma McKnight, Sparta School, fourth grade, teacher of excellence, fourth grade reading. We have Preston Moxley, fifth grade, teacher of excellence, fifth grade reading. Mr. Forrest Bender, 4th grade. Math, teacher of excellence. Amanda Holland could not be here tonight. She let me know that she had a previous engagement with her children. So Ms. Holland got 4th grade math as well. Preston Moxley, 5th grade math. Molly Linkers, 6th grade math, teacher of excellence. And Alex Pruitt, Sparta School, 7th grade, teacher of excellence in math. 25% in North Carolina. So this is awesome of the young leadership we have here. So I'm going to step out and let Ms. Stacy. We appreciate it. It's a hard job, what you do every day. All right. You are welcome to stay, go, whatever you choose to do. Emma, did you see Miss Holland? Yes. You're welcome.
Not too shabby for me.
And the next group of folks, the month of February, our Governor Stein, announced the month of February to be CTE month. So we really wanted to celebrate this in February, but it could not happen. So I want to give thank you to Alleghany News for doing a huge news article and spending time with Ms. Russell and getting the details about the offerings of our CTE program and what all it entails and all of our teachers. The next group of folks, if they are listed here, it means they credentialed a student. They worked hard in students, so they are the experts of this. So maybe, Ms. Carrier, can you tell me what exactly, I'm calling you out here, credentialing?
Where's Ms. Russell?
Credentialing, what does that entail?
Like for me, I do the Adobe classes. So they have to take it's a national certification test in all the Adobe softwares. And if they pass, then they have that certification that goes with them. It shows employers that they have those skills.
Very nicely explained. So with that, here are our top CTE folks that credentialed students, which means they passed the test. So Tammy Carrier, she is our Adobe. Gary Finney, who could not make it tonight. Mike Lyons, I'm going to say Gary does electrical and Mike Lyons does carpentry. And I'm not sure, is Mr. Lyons driving a bus or I don't know. Chris Royal. Consumer science. I wanted to say culinary, but I knew there was a whole thank you. He makes our cookies. So anytime we have staff development, he's the chocolate chip cookie guy. So, and then we have Miss Ashley Weaver, who does business management. Thank you so much. And you as well, Macy. And Miss Kayla Hall, if you would, read spelling bee information.
So we had our district level spelling bee on February 7th. We had 40 students from all the LK8 schools compete. There were 4th through 8th grades. And oh my gosh, they did phenomenal. It is not easy for them to get up in front of a group of people, especially their peers, and try to spell words they may or may not know. So they just represented their schools very well. Our winner, our first place winner, came from Piney Creek School. Williams. She couldn't be here today, but we still wanted to, give her a shout out and tell her congratulations. And I really just want to say too, thanks to the media center coordinators at each school and to Cindy Atwood, because without them, I couldn't have made it as successful as possible. So it was just a great day of celebrating students. So congratulations to Piney and Taylor.
Thank you. And next, we have good news, and tonight, good news is being brought by our Piney Creek crew. For a little.
So as principal of Piney Creek School, it's an honor to be able to come and share with you just some good things that are happening at Piney Creek. And so I think we're ready. You ready, Ms. Sharon? All right, so today we have with us Bruce Collins from 8th grade, Adeline Root from 8th grade, Josie Phipps from 3rd grade, and Paulo Torres from 4th grade. And they're all prepared and ready, so I'm gonna let them take the show. Are you ready? And look, it's up there. Okay.
At our school, 94% is our overall attendance rate for this year. At Piney, we believe if kids aren't at school, they can't learn, so we celebrate great attendance each month. This month, kindergarten, 5th, and 7th were the winners. The winners get to pick their prize for this reward. One of our favorites, kids versus teachers kickball. Piney Creek School loves to celebrate outstanding behavior at the end of the month. This month, our big behavior reward will be a trip to the movie theater. We are calling this March Movie Madness. Students work hard all month collecting dojo points and avoiding minor-major incidents. Piney Creek believes that good behavior and citizenship is part of every student's learning.
Our teachers try to create hands-on experiences every day, so we can be more hands-on with our learning. Like in science, dissections are one of the big ones. 6th grade can dissect cow eyes, 7th grade dissects frogs, and 8th grade will dissect pigs. And in Ely right now, we are with our Frankenstein unit where we are reading a novel we had made of Frankenstein to go on our wall. Getting back in the routine was hard after being out for many weeks of not having school. But our teachers are encouraging us to get back into swinging things and using our brain power to do it. Like pre-K is reading a lot of Dr. Seuss books, and the parent with the cat in the hat is running around in their room. They're building the cat in the hat with all the books house they've read, and once they get to a certain point, the cat in the hat will be popped.
Excuse my baseball pants now, I just wanted to baseball.
You did, you know, sound like excuse.
So our staff, probably one of the best in the world, in my opinion. And Miss Linker, who just got promoted earlier, she went to Burroughs Welcome Fun Center, and she got, or is about to get a $175,000 grant. She's in finals for it, so it's for the entire camp. I think that's good. And Mr. Finney, our custodian, he has made a castle for the kindergartners' fairy tale unit. So I think that's pretty bad.
We would like to give a very big thank you to everyone who's played a role in our CT labs. Right now, me and Bruce are in the 3D printing one, where we are 3D printing multiple objects and learning how to use a 3D printer. There's energy and power, nursing, flight and drone technology, digital malfunctioning, and cosmetology now. And there's a whole maintenance of it. Sitting in them. With the nursing, it is helping us, all of these labs are helping us explore different careers and try to find out and excluding ones we would not like to do and like to do. Like with me, I'm going to be a cancer scientist, so the nursing one is going to help me a lot with the future.
We have proficiency challenges for tests, and if we we're gonna have, if we make a thing out of an ice cream sundae party, and maybe, just maybe, a trampoline park. Just maybe. Just maybe.
Our goal for that is, EOG testing is an individualized test. It's a situation where a child must have the stamina to endure and pass what the state expects. And what we're finding is there's some good, healthy, positive peer pressure. And so we are trying to make classroom challenges to encourage each other, because one weak link could set back the class. So we're trying to build that confidence in it takes everybody to meet those goals.
We have many more exciting things happening at our school. Please join us for Literacy Night, Tuesday, April 15th. Time is 5:30 to 7 p.m. Our PTO is working hard for our Springo Bingo event. Please come out Friday, May 2nd.
And so there's lots of good things.
You did an excellent job.
That was great.
That was very good. Thank you for sharing the good news at home.
Thank you for having me.
Good job.
Next and last I have in my report is the Ed Foundation coming, and you have some big shoes to follow. I don't know, that's what I was just gonna say. I'm not glad you're about
We've not been here in a while. It seems like it was just yesterday we were talking about this new mentor program that we were fortunate enough to be able to implement. But we're 3 years into that now, so we thought it was kind of time to give you all a little bit of an update of some awesome things that are going on in your schools and from our community. So we've been around, in case there may be people here that don't realize this, but we've been around since 1985. John Woodruff got us started a long time ago, back in '85, with some seed money and scholarships. You know, next slide, sure. Maybe next slide. Sorry. And a lot of love, okay, for his community, and the community loved him. And so we're just thankful that he's laid the foundation that he has for us to be able to implement some of the things that are going on with the foundation. And I'm just really thankful that from the very get-go there was the relationship between the Alleghany Educational Foundation and the schools. I mean, we started out in the same office, so without that, none of this works. So we're really appreciative of the work that your school system does to include us in a lot of things that's happening here. So we have been around since 1985. We started out, like I said, scholarships. So we're still working really hard to bring scholarship money to students. And our community is so kind to our kids. That's what we started with, about $5,000 back in 1985, and John Woodruff awarded out some scholarships then. We, last year, have grown that number just a little bit, and we're at about $450,000 in scholarships. So that is due to a couple of things, a lot of things actually. One is our community is fantastic. Unlike, it's just not paralleled by any other community that I can think of. And they are so kind to our students and so supportive of our students, and it just doesn't exist without that. So right now we're sitting at about 131 individual scholarships that our community awards our students. Some of those award, I've just been keying all those in today. Some of them award 25 individual scholarships underneath the one. So that's pretty fantastic, just to be honest. So that's kind of what we've been doing for a long time. Thankfully, John Woodruff got that started for us. But we've also implemented some things over the years. So grants, that's something that we started with mini grants, I don't know, probably 20 years ago or so. And those are teacher mini grants. And we brought those back about 3 years ago. And this year, we just finished award about $4,500 in teacher mini grants, and we hope to improve that. Kudos to all of the educators out there that apply for these grants, because they are looking to do fabulous things for kids. And that's what I want you all to hear is Alleghany County Schools, like, we look after our kids. And you've got great educators and great staff that do that. So hopefully we can improve that. We're working on improving that. Another thing that was implemented this past summer was the GREAT grant. That's growing, retaining, empowering, and I can't remember, what is it? Anyway, teachers. And that was, when we presented this, we received really quick funding of about $100,000. And so what this is opportunities for teachers to go back and get their national board certification, and us help to fund those things. And also help to pay for certifications that they may be wanting to get, or advanced degrees. And that's something we used to do a long time ago. And this is just a way that we can show teachers that they're being supported by their community. And they need to feel that support, and we want them to feel that support. So right now, we've written about 5 of those checks, but we have about 30 in the pipeline. So we reimburse rather than give money up front. So that's very encouraging that you have 30 staff members that are looking to improve themselves professionally. So those are grants. Also, okay, so then there's this other side, I'm trying to hurry, the programming side of our foundation. And this is Trojan Tracks. Implemented about 3 years ago, the mentor program got this thing rolling. Trojans reaching to achieve excellence. So when we met last time, we were really in the throes of getting things started. We're now 3 years in, all 8th, 9th, and 10th graders. Basically 100% of parents have opted into this program, and all these students are receiving mentors at school 4 times a year. And we're just talking about goals. We're just talking about goals and things that they need, and getting them connected to things in the community. And lots of great things come out of this meeting. We're able to reiterate some of the things that the school system needs us to reiterate, that kids need to be hearing. It's hard to explain it in 2 or 3 minutes, but it is a great program. And the mentor program got that started. So, mentors. Full implementation, we'll have 60 mentors going in this program. We train them, we pay for them to be approved volunteers here at the school. So that's also 60 additional volunteers that can be in your school system legally. And we try to take care of all that paperwork and get it in to Frida, and she gets everything turned in, but we pay for their background checks and all those type things so that they can be volunteers and mentors in our schools. So that was the first part of Trojan Tracks. So there are some other pieces of Trojan Tracks. One that just started this year, it's our AHS Junior English Professional Lunch. Now this came out of a mentor meeting, and one of our mentors mentioned that this is something they thought we needed to do. We had some school board members come to us and say, our kids, but they need some training in etiquette and how to conduct themselves at a professional lunch. So we got started on that, and like I said, the community always just kind of pulls together and helps support our kids. So there is a phenomenal unit in junior English right now where they are working on building resumes, practicing job interview skills, and job interview dress and things such as that. And then the culmination is this professional lunch where we go out to Olmo and we have all the students sit at tables with professionals, and we guide them through an etiquette lesson of how to conduct themselves at a professional lunch. It's a great day. We just did we do the fall students and fall English students, and we're getting ready to do the spring English students. The kids were phenomenal. They asked some great questions, just a great day. So that's just something we just implemented this year, another one of our programming. Adopt a college student, this is another part of that. This is where we pair fourth grade students up with recently graduated students who are in school somewhere after they leave here. It's a symbiotic relationship where students support college kids. Our fourth grade classrooms pair up with one college kid, and they have conversations, Zoom meetings monthly, just talking about what's available to them and opening up the world for them to see that they have lots of options in the world. And we try to make that as different, we try to give them different experiences at different schools. There's a lot more to that, but I don't have time for it. So Adopt a College Student, it's an awesome program that's been in, this is its third year. High School Heroes, we just completed this at Sparta School. This is where we have groups. First semester, it was teacher cadet students came down. This second group were our Interact Rotary kids. Came down to the elementary schools. They did a career inventory. They talked about what they wanted to be when they grew up. We put them in groups of 3. They all had to find a place to go to school to get the credential they wanted in order to pursue that career. They don't know. I mean, they just don't know. And we don't expect that they know everything right now. But we're just trying to help them see the process. So, so they conduct a research project all in one day. They conduct the research project, and then they put on a college career fair at the end of the day where they are the experts, and their parents come in. The rest of the school's invited to come, and they participate. And I got to lead a group of these kids this past week, and I mean, I got a hard group. I mean, I'm just gonna tell you, they don't give me like kids that they give me a challenge. But by the end of the day, when we went and that child got to be a leader in that group, I thought all day long he was not interested in what we were doing, but when he got to be the leader and he knew what he was talking about, and he was the expert, he sailed. I mean, it was something to see. So that's another thing that we're doing. And then I think one more. All right, so that's all Trojan Tracks programming. We just today got back from shooting another episode of our podcast. The ultimate compliment, and I'm almost finished, but the ultimate compliment is we were at the career fair, which is fantastic. Also, if you don't have a chance to go to that, you should go. We had some kids come by our table and say, "We gonna put out another podcast?" And we were like, "Well, we've been really busy lately. I'm not sure." And they said, "Well, we want to be on the podcast." I was like, "Whoa." We've got singers that want to be on our podcast. So they came today and they shot it. So they had great advice for upcoming juniors and things like that. So that is available. I put it up on Facebook, but it's available on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. So that is, and they also go up on our website. That's an opportunity. We're just trying to put some things out there so that the community can see what resources are available to them and all the like. So awesome things going on in the community. Schools have, I mean, I hope you hear me say, like, we could not do this without the communication and cooperation in the school system. You've got great people working there, and we enjoy every minute of it. So, y'all have any questions for me?
Thank you. We enjoyed the partnership.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lots of great things. So, and that was a lot in a nutshell. But they do, our Ed Foundation, they do so much for us. Ed Foundation has always worked hard for Alleghany County, but they have like stepped it up since they have now put Miss Vestal and Miss Nilo in these roles. There's so much creativity and so much fun and energetic.
It is.
You're a mentor.
And so, yes, I'm a mentor, and it is one of the most rewarding things that I do, because you get to meet these kids and you go with them each year, and so it's amazing to see from year to year the challenges they've overcame and just the things that they're wanting to do, and so it's helped me. So hopefully it's helping those students, but it's the Edge Foundation, they do a lot of things for our community. We're blessed to have them.
And we are, but once you're a mentor, you mentor that child all the way through high
Yes.
school. You stay with them. It's just not a year and you get a different child the next year. You are a mentor and you see all the way from middle school all the way through high school. So you see the development and the changes and you help to shape the lives of our
And
kids.
it's really interesting because, you know, I've got 10 kids, and so you only get like 15 minutes with them, and you think, you know, I usually am going, oh, we're late, we gotta go, and I have to push them off because I just keep talking, so they're really interesting to get to know, and I think that's been one of the best programs that they've, you know, implemented in the school system is that.
I don't think our Ed Foundation gets enough recognition for the things that they do, so we're grateful for what they do. So that's the last of my report.
Thank you. Moving on, we have the consent agenda. Federal Amendment number 5, State Amendment number 5, and Capital Outlay Amendment number 4. Moving on to new business. Item A, approval of fiscal year 2023-2024 audit report and financial statements.
The good news is we have our audit report, financials, and it's an unqualified audit opinion, which sounds, when you say unqualified, that sounds like it's not good, but in audit terms, that's a good thing. You don't want a qualification. So it means it's a clean audit opinion, and we have two gentlemen, Rick Hammer and James Loudermilk, from our audit firm to go into a little more detail.
Well, first of all, I want to sincerely thank you for working with us. We enjoy working here. Cindy does such a wonderful job. Everything's always in good order. And I always say this, but I would encourage you to look through the audit report when you, not now, but when you get time. And it's quite complicated, but we have a good report. And we found everything to be in order. You will find maybe a letter in there in your report. This is a standard letter which talks about the audit we did and various aspects of it. And down at the bottom it says difficulties encountered. We certainly encountered no difficulties. And we had no disagreements with the management. And so there's nothing mentioned in here other than the normal wording. What we're gonna do, the report is long and somewhat complicated. We've made up a list of financial highlights, and Rick's gonna go over those with you and discuss a few other things. And if there's any questions, we'll certainly answer those, and when we're all done, we'll excuse ourselves.
So one thing I'll mention first is we did do a compliance audit as part of this also. So this is a financial statement audit and a compliance audit. We picked certain programs to check with major programs and looked at various transactions and such. Had no issues as far as the compliance programs we looked at. Everything was fine. The report has been submitted to the local government commission. They review it and review both the financial and the compliance audit. Didn't have any kind of findings that we needed to fix or any corrections. So that's good. There were no findings, like no budget overs or anything like that. So everything went well this year. As Jim mentioned, I was going to go over the highlight sheet, sort of we've done in prior years. So the first portion is your local fund and your fund 8 combined. You can see there's a 2024 column for the audit this year, and then last year's numbers, and then a change just to give you an idea of increases and decreases. So you can see the top number there is your cash and investments in your local fund 8. That was $3,733,603. And then you had total assets, which included receivables and cash and prepaids and such, just over $5 million, almost $5.1 million. And then total liabilities was $1,640,401. So when you take your assets less your liabilities, it gives you your fund balance or your equity in those funds. It was $3,456,472.
That's not all unassigned.
Yeah, that's all fund balance, yeah, total fund balance, right. As far as revenues, in those funds, you had $3,876,000 in revenues that came in, and then your expenditures for the year was $3,355,000. So you had an increase, or your revenues exceeded your expenditures by $520,000 in those two funds combined. The next part is your school food service, which is the child nutrition portion. Total assets, this includes all the equipment and such of the school food service, was $268,166. And then the deferred outflows, this goes back to the liability and the OPEB liability. There's a deferred outflow and a deferred inflow. The deferred outflows this year was $318,182. And then the liabilities, which includes the pension liability and the OPEB liability in this fund, was $826,162. And then the deferred inflow is $145,000. So because of that big liability for the pension and the OPEB in this particular fund, you end up with a deficit, a net deficit of $385,529. As far as revenues, you had operating revenues of $280,702, and then total operating expenses was $1.2 million. So as in every year, because of the grants you get from the government don't show up under operating revenues, you end up with an operating loss. This year it was $938,310. But then under non-operating revenues, that's where the state school lunch and breakfast programs come in. That was $842,378. So you had a net decrease or net loss this year in that fund of $95,932. And then the last few numbers, this is for all your funds combined. So the local fund rate, your public school funds, your state school funds, your federal funds, capital, everything included in these numbers. Cash and investments, $4,303,651. And then total assets, which includes all your property and equipment, all your school buildings, all your land and such, was $25,537,837. And then your net assets for all your funds combined was $836,986. And again, that's net of all the pension liabilities and the OPEB liabilities. That's why that number is smaller. So that's what I have. And unless there are any other particular questions or anything. All right. Well, thank you. And if anything comes up later on, just let us know and we'll keep come. Thanks, sir. All right, thank you.
Okay, need a motion for the approval of fiscal year 2023-2024 audit report and financial statements.
So moved.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Approval of the 2025 summer school plan.
How are y'all this afternoon? Good. So you guys know, as part of the testing program, we do have to offer like summer, it's called traditionally it's summer school, but it's just that extended learning for those students who may need it. So similar to last year, Ms. Lyle and I have been working on this. What we're looking to do at elementary levels is offer June 4th through the 26th, Monday through Thursdays from 8 to 3 o'clock to second and third graders who are kind of those bubble babies that we can maybe get across that hump or who might need that extra instruction over the summer to help with that backslide. I've given you guys the daily schedule there. What we'll plan to do for those third graders that have not passed the EOG who attend summer school, because it is optional, we do invite and they can choose to attend. On Monday, June 24th, we will administer the RTA assessment, and on Tuesday, the 25th, we will do a makeup assessment for anybody who's not there that day. Moving on to the opportunity testing for the 3rd through 8th graders. For math, 3A math, 4A reading, and 5A science. Those are those kids who may have missed being proficient in those assessments by maybe 1 or 2 questions. We will remediate for 3 days, June 2nd through the 4th, with remediation testing occurring on June 5th. And as in the past, we do require that the students show up for all 3 days of remediation in order to retest those assessments. And then looking at the high school plan, as in previous years, they're looking to pinpoint those juniors and seniors that are within 10 points of passing those classes. And their summer school plan will be from June 9th through the 20th, Monday through Friday from 8 to 1 o'clock. And at both, all of the schools, breakfast and lunch will be provided. So if you guys approve that, then that's sort of our summer school plan for the year. Okay. Ms. Ray, I think you got a copy, but I'll give you this one because I'll need your signature. Thank you. I've just got to get that submitted, and then that's all on that. And then I think I've got the calendar update next.
I need a motion for the approval of the 2025 summer school plan.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I forget you guys.
Now, the approval of calendar changes for 2025-2026 school calendar.
Yes, ma'am. So the last time that you guys were here, we looked at option C, and it was approved, that 180-day calendar. But when we really got looking at it, I guess maybe when we were thinking about it, and given all the weather that we've had this year through the month of February, I think we got a little nervous about not having so many days at the end of the year to take if we needed those. So what we did was we took a couple of days that were precursors to those parent-teacher conference meetings, and we moved those to the end of the school year in hopes of giving us a little wiggle room should we need it there. And that was the only change that was made to that calendar.
Motion for the approval of calendar changes for the 2025-2026 school calendar.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome, thank you. Approval of fiscal year 2024-2025 audit contract.
I just want to make a couple comments about financial statements also. It always freaks me out when they say your fund balance is 3 point whatever million. There's a lot of that is set aside by the state, your school, individual school balances, that's in there. Really, our unassigned fund balance in our fund two is $1.2 million, $1,240,000. And that's the money that we have to do new initiatives or surprises come up, that sort of thing. And that's a lot of money. I'm not trying to diminish it at all, but that would not even cover 1 month's expense if that's all we had. So that's just to put a little perspective on the whole thing. Yeah, I cringe at 3.5 because somebody's going to see that and think we're just sitting on all this money we're not using. One other comment I want to make about financial statements. They always brag on the work I've done, but I could not do it without the staff. I just think they all need to be recognized too. Now, the audit contract for this year, we talked about this a little bit last board meeting because we had to get an amendment for this year's contract because of Helene and winter weather and cyber attacks and all this crazy stuff that went on last fall. The state allowed us to go beyond the norm. They normally say they want your audits completed by October the 31st, and they give you a 30-day grace period to file. But with Helene and all the other things going on, they were more lenient, and they basically said, when do you think we'll need? And we said January 31st, we did file by then. This year, this contract, they're going with the December 31st date. The state's not even asking for you to report until then, but there's no grace period. So, whereas before it was October with a 30-day grace period this year, if you don't get it in by December 31st, you better have a really good reason, like the world just collapsed all at once or something like that. But it's the very, very same format as we've had in years prior. We've been with this audit firm quite a number of years. They've done, I think, sufficient audit work. We've been pleased with them. They're easy to work with. Their contract fees are not nearly the last time we did our audit out, We sent a couple dozen solicitations and we only received 5 bids, and most folks were at least double what we paid. So it's a very modest increase from the prior year. It's less than 2% increase, which basically just covered their travel and things like that. There is a representative letter in there and an engagement letter that lays out the duties that we have during the audit and the duties that the auditor has. So we kind of all know what's expected of each of us. And that's really the main thing. I don't know if you guys have any questions or if you're okay to just proceed.
Motion for approval of the fiscal year 2024-2025 audit contract.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Discussion and approval of Chartwell's contract for 2025-2026.
Basically, what I'm going to do is go over the survey that was conducted with the students. And attending is Alicia Cruz and Connie Larson with Chartwell. I don't know, did you all get a handout?
Yes.
Okay. There was a total of 682 students who completed the survey out of the students that are enrolled. And as you can see, there's a ledger with a breakdown for the high school, how many students participated in middle school. It's broken down pre-K through second grade, third through fifth, sixth through eighth, and then the high school students. 78% of all the participants eat almost every day. 65% of those participants say they're satisfied with the menu options, and 53% of the participants say that the taste is satisfying. So that, to me, that looked fairly well. Okay, and then the next page is the quality, lunch quality and favorites. Student participation continues to increase, and I think a lot of that may have to do with the CEP program where all kids are eating free this year. So the concerns based on the survey data show students that have an overall satisfaction with the food quality and the taste. So they're trying new menu items, and some of them are going really well. And you know, of course, some kids, they don't like them, but you know, they're being accepted. And the pre-K is the biggest thing that they keep requesting are chicken nuggets. I mean, that's a big item for pre-K students and the younger. So, and pasta rounds up in the top 3 of the choices, so of the desired entrees, and of course your winners were pizzas and tacos. Listed on the next page are some of the items, the new menu items that have been put up here. The John Wayne casserole, it's served at the high school. It seems to be doing fairly well. It's kind of like what mashed potatoes and beef, and it's kind of, you know, so kids are taking that. The Southwest beef casserole, crab apple chicken, beef taco biscuit, hand pie, or chicken jambalaya with cornbread, Cajun chicken Alfredo. So as you can see, there's several new items being introduced on the menu for the kids to take. Some of the features that promotional items was Dr. Seuss, because last week was Read Across America. So there was some flyers made for the staff, the cafeteria staff to display, to try to encourage kids to eat. The Mardi Gras for the KA, National School Lunch Week, Lucky Tray Day, and then they have featured menu items. Then there's little prizes that are given out for the Lucky Tray Days. National School Breakfast Week, Lucky Tray Day, and it featured different menu items. I know one day they had ham and eggs for lunch, you know, so there's different things being tried to see what the kids like. Monthly Lucky Tray Days, the prizes aren't real expensive, you know, it's just
but the kids seem to enjoy getting them. Yeah, I guess it's, just something to brighten their day a little bit. And they also go to favorite soup day. Kids could vote on soups, and whichever one won at that particular area, they served at the school. So, some of the favorites again are Taco Tuesday, that was suggested, Mexican Monday, Nacho Tuesday, Wacky Wednesday wings, and so there are options out there for the kids that are being tried. Does anyone have any questions on this?
I do have something. Is there a way that we can move this into closed session to discuss the contract, the specifics of the contract?
I understand you do have some legal questions regarding the contract. You can certainly discuss those with the board's attorney in closed session.
Thank you. I would like to do that.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Anything else?
We just need a motion to go into closed session. We can discuss those in the closed session that we have.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, you're welcome.
Thank you, Steve. I need a motion to go into closed session.
Madam Chairperson, under General Statutes 143, 318.11, subsections A1, A3, and A6, to consider matters required by state or federal law to be discussed in confidence, and discussions with the board's attorney to preserve the attorney-client privilege, and to discuss the qualifications and performance of a prospective or current employee of the Board of Education.
I'll make
Second.
All those in favor say aye.